So yeah, so basically at its core, Mars4 is a metaverse based on the 3D virtual version of Mars. We've built this 3D replica of Mars based on real data from NASA. And basically, so the layer one is the world that you can see. So any of your community, any of your members, if they want to check that out, they can literally go to the website, go to the Explorer, and they can see the virtual world that we have there. As I mentioned, divided into just under 100,000 land plots, which are represented by NFTs that are a plot of land on Mars. Those will provide yield to the landowners based on a transaction fee on all of the transactions on the in-game world. That transaction fee is paid out in our second token, which is Mars dollars. So we have the dual tokenomics of the Mars land and then the Mars dollar. In addition to the standard land plots that we have a certain amount that are rare and super rare land plots. So those would be the mountains and craters on Mars, like Olympus Mons, for example. So these we're not selling; these we're currently holding back. So we'll be doing some auctions and some marketing campaigns around those. But in terms of the standard land plots, we've just closed our private land sale, which was open to the community, and so we've already sold around 35% of the land on Mars, or around 35,000 of these land parcels, which is quite mind-boggling. That was completely separate from our token private sale was only open to VCs and funds. The land sale was open to the community, and we did get tremendous buy-in from all over the world, from the regions like Japan, Vietnam, Turkey. It seemed to universally capture people's imagination. So that's the overview of the project. As I mentioned, layer one is the virtual world on Mars. With these NFT land plots. The next stage will be to build in some play-to-earn gaming mechanics. So if you can imagine, having like a Fallout Shelter type game on Mars, where people need to mine the resources on their land in order to be able to build structures and to begin to terraform. Of course, not everybody's going to have all the resources they need under their land, so they will have to trade with their neighbors using the Mars dollar. So we're bringing in some simple play-to-earn mechanisms and characteristics from day one, and then as we evolve, that game will evolve with us in complexity and so on. So if you can imagine, like Decentraland on Mars, where you can walk around freely and so on, you don't have to engage in these games. You can have your NFT galleries there, you can have your nice architecturally designed buildings and so on. But for those people who do want to engage more in the play-to-earn side of things, there'll absolutely be ways for them to earn money. So that's a very high-level overview of where we are, and then happy to jump into more details if you have any more specific questions.
Yeah, sure. For instance, you mentioned the Mars dollar. So your first yield-generating aspect at the moment is based on the sales of the new parcels, right? So there is a percentage of the sales that go back to the owner of the already established NFTs, correct?
So the way it works is that we're going to put this transaction fee on all of the in-games transactions. So when our marketplace is live and people are buying and selling items in the virtual world, there will be a 4% transaction fee on that, of which 2% is going to be distributed to all of the holders of the NFTs. So that would and that would also include things like when the NFTs are minted and so on, because for this private sale, we were selling the NFTs for USDT, Ethereum, whatever. Now that's been shut down, and we're linking the tokens together. So the only way people will be able to purchase land on Mars and to mint it will be using the Mars dollar. So it's doing more of a transaction fee on all those activities that take place with the Mars dollar token. And then, just to clarify, that amount, those amounts are then divided equally between the landowners in the proportion of land that they own. So all of those lands have equal properties. And basically, the more land you own, the larger proportion of that token distribution you'll receive when those distributions are done.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. That's interesting that you want to spread the revenues like this across the whole planet in a way, because if you're going to be building something on your parcel, you might want to expect the sales from that parcel that are being made from the specific part of the metaverse to go to you and not being diluted.
Well, that's it exactly. So the people who own the land now on this layer one, which is quite simplistic, they'll earn this basic yield. But as the game evolves, and as we build more layers on top, the landowners will own the land. They can control the economic activity, what happens on their land. So you can imagine situations where people are subletting out their land, or fractionalizing and dividing it and reselling it on, or paying other people to perhaps design or build structures there. So so the people who own the land will own all of the benefits of that land, including including the economic type activity that I mentioned. And also, when we build out the gaming side of things, we will be imbuing some of this land with special properties. So we haven't clarified exactly what those will be or how they will be distributed, but different land will have different resources underneath. Different land will have different properties. So there's an element of speculation there as well. By people buying this land, they don't know exactly how the game is going to plan out, but there very likely will be different characteristics underneath that land that they can then benefit from. So it's quite exciting for those people who got in early, who got a good stake of land. There's going to be a lot of value accruing to them as this game evolves.
And what about the metaverse itself? So far right now, it's NFT that represent a square on the surface of Mars. But do you have already a 3D world in progress, a 2D world in progress, something that people can go and maybe do VR on at the moment? Is that something being built?
That's something that's on the roadmap, and that's something that's being built. So what we have now is literally just the 3D model, so people can go there and explore, zoom in, inspect their land, check the other wallet holders of the other pieces of land, see what's available, see what's been sold, and so on. The layer 2 is going to be building out these play to earn gaming elements, which will probably be quite simplistic, maybe a top-down view or a isometric view initially. And then moving on to more of a simple kind of 3D view like crypto voxels or Decentraland. But yes, eventually we want to have this completely built out where people can slip on their VR headset and engage and explore with their avatar with this world. So that's we're working with several gaming studios now around the region, around Central and Eastern Europe, to select the partner who's really going to work with us on that building out that very high quality version.
Right. Okay. I'll be looking forward to seeing the 3D elements of that for sure. Just one more question about the actual planet metaverse. Did you work closely with NASA to get these, or these are just the data from Goddard Institute?
No, we didn't work directly with NASA, but there's publicly available data. I think it's called ARGIS, the system that provides this. So basically, it's data that's coming from NASA and other space agencies, and we use that then to build our 3D model as geographically perfect as possible. So I think it's based on the latest, most up-to-date imagery and topographical data.
Right, yeah, maybe I had the wrong institute. Maybe it's just something on top of my head. So do you have anyone on the tech team at the moment? And are you guys full-time on this?
Yeah. So we have, we're all full-time, all 5 co-founders, and then another 5 developers, another 3 people in marketing. So we've got quite a fully built out technical team. Our CTO, Andrew, is focused more on the blockchain, smart contract, IT side of things, development. And we have a full team of developers there, where we're strengthening the team with hires, with actually hiring people directly in, and also through partnerships is on the gaming side. So that's not where our core competency is, but we're very lucky because a lot of the team is based in Lithuania, in Eastern Europe, and surrounding Lithuania in countries like, well, Lithuania itself, Latvia, Ukraine, Belarus, and Poland. You've got some of the top gaming studios in the world that have built, for example, Stepico, who's built Game of Guardians in Ukraine. We're speaking to them, several others. And then we're also speaking to the likes of Unreal and several others. So we've got good resources in the region, and so people that we will be hiring directly using the proceeds from our private sale, and then working on a project basis with some of these top gaming studios as partners.
Yeah, that's definitely a region with lots of very good developers. So speaking of partnership, you've mentioned you had the co-founders and head of strategic partnership from Illuvium on the advisory team. Can you tell us what they brought to the project? What's their role?
Definitely. So Danny and Kieran from Illuvium, they were actually one of our first checks in the private sale. And we connected so well on the first call that they joined us as advisors. So what they're bringing what they're bringing to the table for us is two huge components. The first being obviously that they're building the first AAA blockchain game. So they're really going, they're really going all out in terms of the quality, the caliber of the game that they're building. So they've been able to help us on how to structure that, how to manage that lengthy and costly process to deliver something really, really amazing. The other part that they've really helped with is through Kieran's connections to synthetics. They're very well connected in the traditional Ethereum world, the traditional DeFi world, and the established Ethereum high-end NFT world. And through that, they've been able to provide us great introductions. For example, helping us to have our IDO on SushiSwap's Miso Launchpad on the 15th of September, advising us on things around staking. So we touched on some topics around the income and yield bearing elements from the Mars land. We're also looking at implementing a staking program similar to the one that Illuvium have done to give people a good reason to invest and lock up their Mars dollars for a longer period to earn some very good yield, which also, of course, helps reduce the sell pressure as we launch and begin trading. So yeah, I think they've really helped us both in their connections to the world of DeFi in terms of tactics and strategies for staking, and then also being hugely valuable on the gaming side of things. And then they've also been really helpful with their connection to the tier 1 and tier 2 VCs and angels who have helped guide us as well. What we find is that many of our tier 1 investors have become almost like advisors without a direct advisory contract, and really help us to steer this project in the right direction to avoid many of the pitfalls that people make in terms of taking on lower quality investors or partners. And so I think they've really the guys really have been instrumental in this.
Yeah, definitely good connection. Speaking of funds, how much did you actually raise initially, and how much did you get so far from the sales, and how are you planning to use this?
Yeah,
raised funds.
I can give my so I'm not completely managing the investor relations side of things, so I can give you some figures, but they may not be exact. So right. On the NFT sales side of things, on the Mars land sales side of things, so we've sold about 35,000 Mars land parcels, which is 35%, roughly 34% of the total supply. I think with our blended price, that means we've raised well over 4 million from land sales, which is not related to the token sales. And in the private sale round, we've raised another 4.9 million. So we had 2 rounds in the private sale. Round 1, more for the tier 1 funds and seed and the early backers. Round 2 was for a second follow-on round. And yeah, we completely sold out. We were completely oversubscribed on that. And it's interesting when you're fundraising, because at the very beginning, when we really started fundraising It was the middle of summer. Bitcoin and Ethereum and the market was going through a bit of a drought, and people back then believed that the NFT buzz was over. Nobody wanted to talk to us, and it's just amazing how things have changed in a few months. Where we were at this, people were telling us, look, just forget about the NFTs, forget about this metaverse stuff, just do something simple and pure DeFi. And a lot of investors did pass on us. And then over the last couple of months, as we brought on these advisors, as we strengthened our value proposition and learned to articulate better what we're doing, and then this perfect storm of interest in metaverses, the resurgence of NFTs, and then the Axie coming along and the play to earn gaming buzz really taking off. I think it was just a perfect virtuous cycle for us. And basically, in the space of a month, it went from being nobody wanting to speak to us to being the hottest project in town. And so we're completely oversubscribed. Huge interest, huge excitement. As you're aware, Star Atlas had a tremendous performance on its first day of trading. Many of the investors in us are also investors in Star Atlas, so they're giving us advice on how we can get similar dynamic performance on day one. So I think it's really been the perfect time, and it's just been an interesting process for me to go through personally this fundraising to see how the dynamics shift with market sentiment and so on. I think with these the funds and VCs, nobody wants to be first, but they certainly don't want to be last. So quite entertaining to see the stampede at the end. I think what this means though is that we're in a very good position financially to execute and to strengthen our team, to basically hire a lot more people, to get more bodies in. All of the co-founders are being pulled now in multiple directions. So to be able to strengthen out those teams in different verticals, like for myself around the NFT revenue side of things, for others on the technology as we spoke about, and on the business development and partnership side. So we're very well set up financially, I believe now, and then the real work starts. Really delivering this project, building it out, and maximizing the potential.
Yeah, it was definitely a very nice time to start such a project. Everything right now that has metaverse in it, NFT in it, pretty much take off immediately. Yes. So raising funds, I have no doubt that this was a definitely good timing for that. You did choose to launch on BSC initially, though. Why did you choose the BSC, and how did the move to Ethereum go?
So we chose BSC initially because we felt that Asia was going to be a strong region for us, and we felt that retail were more comfortable with BSC because of lower gas fees, transaction fees. However, based on advice from our lead investors and advisors, they said, look, if we really want to go after the premium, high value Ethereum investor, DeFi investor, high end, high quality Ethereum NFT investors, we really should be on Ethereum. And so we migrated, and it's worked well. I think it's definitely unlocked new channels of more serious, more wealthy investors for us. Of course, there have been challenges in terms of our gas costs are astronomical, because we're burning gas every time we mint and transfer out the NFTs. So there have been challenges, but overall, we felt that it was better to be Ethereum first. And then, of course, we're looking at other scaling solutions in parallel, like Polygon Matic, and then some other gaming-specific scaling solutions. I think it's served us well to be Ethereum first and then multi-chain second. But of course, we have eaten a lot of costs, a lot of gas costs. I wouldn't like to put a dollar value on it. It would probably bring a tear to our CTO's eye. But yes, it's gone well, and we're happy with our decision.
Yeah, I guess. Well, the difference is now you can actually pay for those gas fees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, good. Well, it makes sense to me. Can I ask why 4? This is Mars4. This is something's been bugging me since the beginning of this interview.
I think it's because Mars is the 4th planet from the sun, so I think just Mars4 to make it stand out, to make it memorable. Yeah, I think it's literally as simple as that. The fourth planet from the sun.
Right. Does that mean you're going to do more planet?
Well, I think it's like we have so much that we can do with Mars, and we have so much territory there, and it's a universe within itself. We have thought about potentially expanding onto the moons of Mars. I think Mars has at least 2 moons, and they've quite a good landmass. So we have thought about that, but I think rather than trying to spread ourselves thinly across multiple planets, better to really to own Mars, to put our brand on it. And yeah, I think for now the focus is 100% on Mars, but who knows? Let's see. In saying that, we don't, the way we look at metaverses is that we don't need to create everything. We're very open to the idea and are already in discussions with various projects about the idea of linked metaverses, where you can take your Martian avatar, and you can go to a portal on Mars, and you can, transmit yourself into Illuvium's world or into Decentraland. And likewise, perhaps some of those monsters or beasts could come from the Illuvium world into Mars. So we're very much open to the idea, this cross metaverse idea. And if you remember the movie and the book Ready Player One, that ability to translate with a persistent avatar or character across multiple game worlds, to bring your Mars currency with you, to exchange it somewhere else, to spend it, in Illuvium, for example. So this excites us very, very much. This idea of having metaverses linked to metaverses.
Yeah, of course, this is it's on every metaverse's mouth right now that we must go cross multiverse.
Absolutely.
I've got questions from the chat. Someone's asking how many Mars tokens can be bought for one NFT.
So it's generally the other way around, that people are buying the NFTs with Mars tokens. That rate will fluctuate. So we'll have to I'll have to come back to you there. But I think we'll have more clarity on the exchange rate between Mars dollars and Mars land NFTs after the initial launch on the 15th of September.
Right. So maybe one more of a comment than a question, really. I saw on your website that you said that this is the first revenue generating NFT in the universe. What do you mean by that? Because otherwise we wouldn't be here if it really was the first one. So I'm curious to why saying first revenue generating NFT.
That's a very good question, and look, it's a very big statement as well, because we don't know what's happening in other solar systems around this universe. So I think what it means is that it's the first NFT with built-in yield characteristics. So those built-in DeFi elements, rather than being a piece of art, or rather being something that's tradable, something that actually has income and yield built into it. So, for example, when you go to sell your Mars land on OpenSea or wherever on the third-party marketplaces, whoever buys that land from you, whoever acquires that land, they will be earning yield in Mars dollars on that land, regardless if they never set foot in the game or never set foot in the metaverse. So it's basically, what it means is that the yield and the income generating characteristics are built into the land itself, rather than being just being something that can be tradable, or something that can be sold for capital appreciation.
Right. So basically, what it means that is a passive linear yield generating, basically just a passive income. But
that's passive income, more like traditional real estate. So it's like buying a piece of real estate with tenants that are paying you rent. So yeah, I think that's the unique difference. You can buy and sell and trade this thing, and what we mean by the revenue generating or the yield generating is that built-in passive income.
Right. Well, you can buy real estate in NFT already, so I guess it's the first time on Mars. That I will agree with that.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, maybe we need to refine the statement.
Yeah, no problem. That was just me being technical on words.
Sure.
So what's the next big step then? Building directly on that metaverse?
Well, what we're focused on right now, for us, the big next step is the is the IDO, right? So we want to ensure really strong performance on day one of trading, 15th of September. So we're going to be launching on Miso, SushiSwap's Miso platform, also Gate.io in parallel. So we really want to do, what we're doing now is, what we're doing with you, we're doing AMAs all over the world with different communities, different groups, different languages, translated into different languages, just to really generate that retail demand and excitement. Then we want to ensure really good performance on the launch pads. Then we want to ensure that when we start trading soon after on the exchanges, that again we have everything structured in terms of proper liquidity, proper planning, and so on, so that we get a good, strong, dynamic performance of the token, and moreover that's kind of maintained. So we feel that's something we owe to our investors and backers, and we believe in this market is something that we can execute quite well. In parallel to that, yes, it's going to be deploying these resources and the funds that we've raised to strengthen the technical team, to strengthen the commercial and partnerships team, to really then execute as quickly as we can and on our current strategy, build out this game world, and I think from there, once we really start building, delivering, getting that feedback from the community, not just the private investors, that'll really help us with the direction. So we see this as a 10, 20 years project, something that will be persisting for a long, long time. We're excited that it'll come to a certain point where we'll not be running this anymore. We plan to pass it over to a DAO, and from there, from those people to be able to steer the direction of the metaverse. We're looking as well at making the Mars land into a governance token, so that those landowners, those Mars landlords, will have a vote, have a say in the direction of the metaverse. So if you can imagine, like ancient Greece or ancient Rome, where the landowners, it was a democracy of the landowners, they had the ability to vote and to steer the direction. So that's something that we're excited about. Having that ability to really empower our early adopters and these landlords, and also as well, just as with the more land you have, the more revenue you get. Also, the more land you have, the more votes you'll get. So that's one thing that excites me very much, just to see how this thing becomes organic and takes on a life of its own. The other part that excites me very much is when we build out the play to earn mechanics, is giving the ability for people from lower income countries like Vietnam, like the Philippines, and so on, the ability to come to our game, to earn money, to earn Mars dollars, then to convert that into their own currency and to improve their own lives, to have an income. So we think that's something that's really exciting, the ability to bring hundreds of thousands or perhaps millions of people from lower income countries, to enable them to be able to earn money in a game, creating value for themselves. And then also, having these whale and scholar systems where they're creating more economic activity, they're earning for themselves, but creating more economic activity within the metaverse itself, which benefits everyone then. So from the landowners to the people who are actually playing the game to the investors. So it creates kind of a virtuous circle. So that's the mass adoption that we hope that we will aim to get through play to earn is something that's really exciting for me as well.
That's very ambitious, yes, especially considering there's a lot of success already on some of those projects like Axie Infinity. So you already have a few years, you're a few years behind some of, you could say, competitors on that field. So
that's right. Yeah, Axie is an overnight success. It looks like an overnight success, but they've been going since 2017, I believe. So, so we're cognizant of that, and we want to, we know that it's not going to suddenly appear overnight. We also know that, a game to attract people, it's not just about graphics, it's not just about the story. You actually have to build a really good game. So we're looking at getting the best minds in the world into that to be able to attract the people. The other thing about not being the first there is that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can look at all of the best characteristics from Axie and the best play to earn games, try and distill that into what's going to make Mars more attractive for people to come and choose to spend their time with us rather than with another game. So so we know it's not going to be easy, but we're learning from the best. And also we feel like this mass consumer adoption that we got, all these 35,000 Mars land plots being sold to thousands and thousands of individuals with almost zero, with literally zero paid marketing, all organic, shows that there is just huge interest and huge demand. So we have tapped into something that's universal and global. So now it's all about, can we transform or translate those, let's say, NFT speculators into active community participants and gamers? That remains to be seen. Are they the same demographic, or it's different? But yes, these are the challenges that get us excited, and we're going in there with our eyes open. We know it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, of course. Well, we'll definitely be looking forward to your first play to earn game on Mars. Definitely.
Yeah, we'll be the first for everything on Mars.
Yeah. I guess in terms of play to earn, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I think I'm a little bit out of questions, unless my colleagues have something to add. We'll thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I suppose any follow-on questions, there are people who could jump into our Telegram, or if they wanted to forward to yourselves, you could let us know. Thank you very much for bringing us in, introducing us to your community. We know that you guys are at the cutting edge of everything to do with Ethereum, DeFi, NFTs, and gaming. Huge thanks to yourselves and to your founders, who are also early investors and advisors of ours as well. So we very much appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much for coming. We'll definitely be on the lookout for questions for you in our Telegram and Discord channel, and feel free to pop in at any time.
Definitely. Yeah, I think our CMO Paul or Caroline from our marketing team might jump in and help out.
Sure, no problem. Well, thank you very much for this morning. I'll talk to you soon, probably, and let me know as soon as you get a play to earn games.
Definitely, we'll keep you updated. Thank you so much for your time. Sorry for being a little bit late, and thank you to everybody who joined us.
No problem, and sorry for the little bit of a sound problem we had at the beginning.
No issues, no worries. Edited out, I guess. So.
Right. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.